Let's talk about psychology. Let's talk about psychology of hair loss. Man, I tell you, I'm so grateful for all my subscribers, for all my viewers. I love this. This is so much fun. Especially this past week, something very interesting I think has happened. I'm seeing these themes in which, just like the polarization of America, you know me, if you've watched my videos enough, you've heard some little things I've said about how I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm just a third party. I don't get caught up in choosing sides and just following on one way. And if you don't believe this way I believe, then you're no good to me. You're my enemy. I don't think like that. That's very juvenile to think that way. To treat politics or other people's beliefs like they're an opposing sports team. Come on. I'm too intelligent for that. And hopefully you are too. But what I'm seeing is this influx of these comments. And it's so funny. I think of, here's what I think of. And I've already said this probably earlier today. But I think of the last track of the very first Metallica album, Kill 'Em All. There's one called Metal Militia. It's the final track on the album. And it's just this concept of... And then I'm like picturing these guys say, Nick, when are you going to shave your head? Or it's, Nick, when are you going to get a hair transplant? And I hear these things, and it's so funny to me because people care. Like it's like there's an emotional investment on what I do with my hair. So there's people that are just totally want me to buzz it off. That I'm hiding my hair loss, my thinning, if I don't just shave it off every day. Then there's people who think I'm just crazy for not hurrying up and go ahead and get this hair transplant because my Norwood 3 is only going to last so long before it becomes 4, and I better hurry up and make this investment and get this hair transplant. And whatever it is, whatever they are on the gradient, whatever they choose for themselves as their way to deal with hair loss, whatever they choose, they want me to do that thing, whatever it is. Now, granted, I'm never going to shave my head because someone said it in a comment. I'm never going to get a hair transplant because someone told me to do a comment. Or whatever else it is. I'm never going to do it because someone told me to do it. Right? Because I'm going to do whatever makes me happy. Because for me, the way you prove that you've embraced your hair loss is you are content and happy and you found a plan to deal with it. So the way I see it, if you're happy with yourself personally, then there's no reason to convert other people to believe what you believe. That's why it's hilarious to me. It's so ridiculous when people try to convert each other, like say in politics, for example. Republicans are never going to convert Democrats and vice versa. If you're against abortion, you're never going to convince someone otherwise of that. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And so I think it bothers a lot of people that I am so open-minded on my channel. I think that bothers people that I started out so leaning toward just shaving your head, and then I became more open-minded and wanted to cater to everyone in the spectrum of hair loss treatment or the way we deal with it. I think that bothers people because they're secure in their beliefs to the point of knowing what they've got, but they're not secure in their beliefs and the fact that they're not okay with other people making different decisions. That's my challenge to you today. And I know that may come across a bit aggressive, a bit direct, but I think I need to address this. I think there are people who are secure enough in how they're embracing their hair loss, but what they're not secure in is letting other people make their own decisions, even if they don't agree with them. Because let's face it, I'm never gonna please most people on my channel as far as making the decisions they want me to make. Like I said yesterday, yeah, we agree that this haircut is really working for me, and it's great. But let's assume the next haircut I get it cut shorter. Or 6 months from now, I'll grow it longer. There's always going to be people who don't like my decisions. But it's just so funny to me that people keep worrying about what I do or what other people do. Like I'll see people in the comments try to convert each other to shave their head or get a hair transplant or whatever it is. And then I had one comment in the past couple of days where it was basically saying, Nick, why are you just telling people to do what makes them happy? I watch your channel so you'll give me advice. Well, it's not for me to tell you what to do. It's for me to show the full picture of things you could do. But ultimately, yeah, it is the thing that makes you happy, because if you do something because someone else told you to, then it's not in your heart. It's not going to make you happy. Now, it's funny. I did what was in my heart. I, on a whim, got this haircut. It's all good, and I'm happy with it. But I didn't do it because someone told me to do it. In fact, no one at all said, hey, Nick, you should, and check this out. You could go through the thousands of videos I've made, look through all the comments, and what you're not going to find is someone saying, hey, Nick, you know what you should do? You should get a number 4 down to a number 3, and then get 3 inches on the top. You should get kind of this like almost edgy yet conservative looking hairstyle. That's what you should do. I don't remember anyone saying that. I came up with this idea myself. I was already kind of thinking about it, and then I saw the guy and I did it. Okay? So it's great that we can collaborate, and I'm all for collaboration. I'm all for us sharing ideas and learning from each other. But there's definitely a difference between learning in a collaborative way versus trying to convert each other on our beliefs. And I think that does bother a lot of people. People assume that I'm not being direct enough, that I'm not, giving enough advice if I don't have, this is what you definitely should do. No, I don't work that way. To me, that's not emotionally intelligent. So, in closing, I submit to you the theory, once again, which I think I've talked about many times. If you're secure in what you believe, then you live by that, and you have no trouble letting other people make their own decisions. Sure, you can suggest something calmly and then leave it alone after that, but it shouldn't affect you emotionally. It really shouldn't affect you what other people do. This is the libertarian way. They're just standing back, letting people do whatever they want to, not getting worried about it, not trying to convince people to do a certain thing. I submit to you, prove your security in yourself. Prove that publicly by not trying to convert other people. Instead, just be accepting of other people's beliefs as long as it's not hurting other people. That's really what this comes down to. And that's why when I see these comments, I laugh every time someone just shouts at me, shave it, shave it, shave it, get a hair transplant. It's just funny.